Hello and welcome to the Unisky training platform. Do remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel for more videos and keep following us for more interesting topics to come. In today's lecture, we are going to look at how to install Hyper-V on our Windows platform, be it Windows 7, Windows 10. Of course, Windows 7 is out of the scene now, so we either Windows 8.1, Windows 10, or your server OS. Now, the reason for a Hyper-V is that you would want to install other operating systems in your existing operating system or on your existing operating system so that you can catch the feel of such activities. So most people achieve this particular task by using VMware or VirtualBox and the like. But fortunately for you, if you are using Windows 10, Microsoft has embedded in it what is called a Hyper-V that you can use to create virtual computers on your system so that you can install other operating systems on them for use. So today I'm going to walk you through how to easily install it on your system. So you simply go to Control Panel. So we go to Control Panel on your system, and then you choose Programs and Features. So under Programs and Features on the left pane, we select turn Windows features on or off. You would realize that I am using a Windows server. It is the same in any of the Windows platforms that is Hyper-V supported. Remember to use Windows Professional or Windows Ultimate. Windows Home does not support Hyper-V, so be mindful of the platform you would want to install your Hyper-V. So once the console comes up, we go next, then we choose the role-based, we select the server we would want to use. Of course, in Windows 10, you don't expect to see the server type you are choosing. You just go straight to this particular interface. So you realize that Hyper-V is unchecked. So we check the box for Hyper-V, and then we add the necessary features and go next. Mind you, on some computers, you would have to go to the BIOS of the computer at startup, and then you enable virtualization. If you don't enable virtualization on some computers, you wouldn't have it running on your system. You activate it and then it will fail to run simply because virtualization is disabled in your BIOS. So if you are using a server operating system, you simply just go next to the end. You can configure the switch and every other thing when you are done with Hyper-V. So it's as simple as that. I know you were thinking it would be something complex, but we are done installing Hyper-V, and right now we expect to find Hyper-V under our programs if we search. So once I click this, I should see Hyper-V Manager. So when the Hyper-V Manager shows up, you should have on the left pane your computer name. In my case, my computer name is Ton. So when I right click on my computer name, I can come to new and then I create a new virtual machine. So there is a wizard that comes up and then it allows you to create the type of machine you need for your operating system. If you want it to support a 64-bit or an x86 architecture, that is a 32-bit architecture, you choose. So when you go next, you choose the name of the machine, you choose a preferred name, maybe test 1, and then we go next. You choose generation 1 for computers that are running on 32-bit or operating systems that are running on 32-bit architecture, and then you choose generation 2 for computers that support only the UEFI based systems, firmware, BIOS, or 64-bit systems. The world is gradually advancing into the 64-bit architecture, so you would as well choose this particular one. But for those of you who would want to install some Linux flavors like Backtrack, Kali Linux, Ubuntu, OpenSUSE, and the like, most of them reside well on the 32-bit architecture. So it would be advisable you use that particular platform. So once you go next, you define your startup memory, and your startup memory should depend on the memory or the RAM of the physical computer. So I can choose, say, 4 gig, that is 4000 megabyte, it will allocate 4 gig to my virtual machine. That means maybe I have more than 4 gigabyte on my computer, so I can actually allocate up to this size for my virtual machine. And then I choose a switch. So if you've not created a switch from here, which I would walk you through, you can choose the default switch that virtual manager already creates for you. The Hyper-V manager already creates for you. So it will be good you choose a switch that will allow for your operating system to depend on for connectivity, whether local area based or on the WAN. So we choose a switch and then we go next. Then we create a hard disk. So for starters or for beginners, you can just use the default mode, which is 127, but it will also again depend. For instance, if I'm installing Ubuntu, or if I'm installing Kali Linux for a specific purpose, I would need just up to 10 gig or maybe 8 gigabyte of hard disk space for that particular purpose. So I can just choose this and then I go next. Then I also choose the image. So I browse through my computer for maybe the image I would want to use in installing. So on my computer, I'm assuming that I want to install Kali Linux. So I browse to the location, maybe my documents or desktop, wherever the image is located. I select the image and then I click open. Then I go next and now I finish. So once you finish, it creates a virtual machine for you. So you have a computer within a computer, except everything is virtual, such that you can have the feel of all the features of which other flavor of Windows or operating system you are installing. So I can easily start it by right clicking here, or I double click on it to get access to that particular view. So I can right click and connect. So this window would allow me to start my installation of the operating system I have chosen. So this sums it up for how to simply enable and then configure a virtual computer on your system for use. Thank you for watching, and do remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more videos. I'll be expecting you